Hey, everybody, welcome to LWN Network. I am Tammy Nation. I am here with LW tonight, and we are here to have a wonderful conversation about what is going to happen tomorrow, Liberation Day in the Rose Garden with President Donald Trump along with his cabinet. We're also going to speak about, hey, is Trump going to run and do a third term? The possibilities are there, believe it or not. So that and whatever you guys want to talk about, you can put comments in the chat and we'll catch them and we'll talk about them. Let's just have a good time, some good conversation, and enjoy the evening together. We'll be right back right after this.
You can see it in the sky. No use running, if you do, you won't survive. People are sick and people are tired, but inside of me rages a fire. We the people are going to burn this corruption to the ground. Yeah, we the people will fight fire with fire starting now. To burn this corruption to the ground. Yeah, we the people will fight fire with fire starting now. Gonna watch them run, gonna watch it burn, gonna watch it all come down. Yeah, we the people are gonna burn this corruption to the ground. With fire starting now. Gonna watch them run, gonna watch it burn, gonna watch it all come down, yeah.
All right. Good evening. Good evening. How's everybody doing? Can you guys just do me a huge favor? And I want to make sure that you guys can hear my mic. Tammy, am I good on your end?
Yes, you sound great.
Okay. If they can give me a 5x5 in chat, make sure everything's working. We had a couple of little quirks right before we went live tonight. So I just want to make sure that we've worked the bugs out of them. Wow, I'm loud in my own ear. We're still working, just so you guys know. I know Tammy, I watched thank you, Mike. Thank you, Cindy. Kay, thank you. I know Tammy has said several times on Headline Hits, that we have a 24-hour stream now up on Rumble. Now, just so you guys know, there's still a lot of work to do to that 24-hour stream. So thank you for watching, for subscribing, and for just hanging out in there and listening to the news that we got up there. We got a 24-hour stream, Fox News and some other stuff. We've got other windows that we put up there. One of them is over DC in the White House. That'll probably stay the way it is. There's other things that we're going to do to that channel. We just right now we're just streaming to make sure that we get those bugs worked out, and then we'll keep adding to it. So thanks for doing that for us in the morning, Tammy. Appreciate it. Plus, if you guys haven't caught it, Saturday nights, we do a live DJ, a live MTV music television that we do on Rumble as well. Only on Rumble. We can only do it on Rumble. And man, we have a good time on that every Saturday night. You guys can get in there. You can listen to your favorite songs. You guys can do super chats or donations or whatever. Request your favorite songs. And the live DJ loves to play those songs for you guys. And we also have the live chat too. So we're in there as often as we can, Tammy and I both. So please check that out. Subscribe to that channel because it's a lot of fun on Saturday nights, right, Tammy?
Oh yeah, I love having a good time in there, just chatting with the listeners and the viewers, and just having memories of each song that's played. You know, depending on what decade it is or where you were at that time, and it's just a whole lot of fun. And there's a great variety that is played each and every show. It's not like it's repeated over and over and on autopilot. There is a live DJ there that is paying attention to people's requests and what they want and all that. So it is just a really, really good time. Definitely.
Absolutely. One other announcement real quick before we get the show started tonight. So I have a show that I've been working on for 2 years now. It's called Wolfpack. There's other people out there that have picked up on it and tried to make it their own. And that's fine. But we're going to do it LW style right here on LWN Network. So we're going to start the very first episode. It's going to be Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the network. So I got a co-host. He will be with me, I would say, most of the time. There might be a few times that he's not. But this is going to be alpha male conversation. This is going to be men only, alpha males. It's going to be unfiltered. It's going to be raw. We'll be talking about current events. We'll be talking about what it's like to be a man, a husband. We'll be talking about sports. We'll be talking about government, religion. It's no holds barred. I have no idea what we're going to be talking about week to week, but I just want to invite you guys to come to that show. Again, it's not going to be filtered. So there might be language there that you don't care to listen to, and that's okay if you choose not to. But I'm not going to restrict any of my guests or my co-host with language because I want it to be real. I want it to be raw. I want it to be like if I'm talking to my buddies at work, this is how we talk. This is what we talk about. So really excited for that. It's going to be Wolfpack Sundays, and again 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you guys can join us. I've been really wanting to do this show for roughly 2 years, and It's been a long time trying to put it together. I've got a lot of great guests that are going to join us throughout the year. Just a lot of stuff that we're working on here at LWN, and it's taken a long time, but the team and I have decided that we want to take baby steps. It kind of looks awkward at times because we're just working through a few things. We don't want to jump in too deep too quick and get over our heads. So thank you guys for being patient for that. Tammy?
And I was going to say, when he says it's guys only, he means it's guys on the show. So ladies, you will be more than welcome to participate in chat, ask questions. And I think it's going to be a great way for women to get inside the minds of men, even though you may think you know it already. It'll just be interesting to see it, to have them answer questions and do that. I'm looking so forward to it. And I know LW has been working on this for a very long time. And you guys have to understand, when you want to do a show, it's easy to get out there, hit the live button and do a show, but then it can come out, one-legged, half-assed, so to speak, and it's not what you want it to be. You really have to process the look of it, what you want it to sound like, and what you want it to be. And LW has done that, and he's so excited about it, and I'm so excited for him. And you bet I'm going to be there watching each and every Sunday. I'm going to see what I can learn. I'm going to see what I can ask, and I'm just going to really have a good time with it. And I hope that all you ladies do join him as well.
I hope so too, because like I said, it's you're gonna get. I know you guys over the years have been used to my perspective on a lot of different issues, but this is going to be me interacting with other men. And these are men who are lone wolves. They're alphas. They run their house. They run their jobs. They are people that other men follow, other men look up to. And so that's what the show is about. What does it look like when you get alpha males together? And everybody is cut from different cloth, and we all come from different backgrounds. We're different religions. We're different this. We're different that. And I want to show you guys what that looks like in the interaction when you get guys who are very strong-willed, not always like-minded, and they're used to really, the only way I could explain it, Tammy, is this. You're in a game. Mm-hmm. You're either behind or you're tied. And the alpha is the one that wants the coach to give him the ball at the end of the game. Michael Jordan, we can name a ton of them, right?
Yeah.
And you want that ball. And that's the guy that's going to lead the charge. And that's who I'm going to surround myself in this show with, is guys like that. Guys who are used to driving that football down or driving the basketball down the court and taking the last shot. So that's what it's going to be about. It's going to be about sports, cars, wives. What is it like to be married? What is it like to be a father? What's it like to be a grandfather? What's it like running your own business? A variety of topics. We are not going to focus on politics. We will probably hit politics every now and again, but it's not a political show. This is a man show.
And I'm excited for it. It sounds really good and refreshing. And, we've been saying where are the real men for a very long time. There's some that have been stepping out recently, like Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, and all that, political figures and whatnot. But, the days of men wearing makeup and high heels and looking better in some dresses than women are over. I'm over that. So I cannot wait until, we just get some burly, tough, strong-minded men that work hard for their families, that are just like what men like we grew up with, is what I'm saying, instead of the men that I call them walk lightly in their shoes. We don't want that anymore. No more tight jean wearing, skinny jean wearing, high heel makeup purse carrying men. So if you want that, you guys, ladies and gentlemen, that's what the Wolf Pack is going to provide you guys, and I'm here for it 100%.
Absolutely. Well, Tammy, last week, just so everybody knows, I know I got a few messages asking, excuse me, when Jeff B was going to be on again. Mm-hmm. He's been kind of busy for last week. Plus, we were very busy here at LWN. We were working on platforms. We're working on the 24-hour stream. We tried to accomplish some things last week, and we don't have 40 hours to do this in. So a lot of times we only have a couple hours here and a couple hours there. So we really try to get done as much as we can. So that's why we were kind of MIA last week, was we were trying to work on software and get as much done around the house here as we possibly could. So we decided to come on tonight to give you guys maybe some current updates and some things that are in the news, things that are going on, give you an update on what's going on in LWN. And then, of course, Tammy, don't forget to catch her tomorrow morning at noon Eastern Standard Time for Headline Hits. She's got one more day this week, or no, 2 more days this week. Tomorrow is Wednesday, Thursday. Tomorrow is April the 2nd. We're going to talk about that tonight, so stay tuned for that. So we're just still kind of figuring out our schedule. We're going to be posting the schedule on the website here soon, and we got a website. Like we're constantly busy. War Machine is extremely busy. I did put out, I'm excited to say, we had another song that was written for LWN, specifically for LWN. It was also performed and produced by LWN and by Seven's studio, which is War Machine. And so I put that out earlier this week as just a single, and we're going to play that for you guys tonight after the show for the outro. So that's the outro that was written for us. So we got the intro, we got the outro. Just working on a lot of different things. We still got to tune up Tammy's headline hits for stuff she wants to do. So we're busy, a lot going on.
And we love it, though. We absolutely love developing this and the process of developing it for each and every one of you. And I never thought the time would come, actually, that LWN Network and LW would be creating and writing songs, the lyrics and all that, and the music, the whole kit and caboodle, producing it. Thanks to our great producers for doing that. But it's been an amazing journey so far. And, sometimes you just have to de-stress, kick back, and enjoy the ride. Enjoy the process of making something. And even though we're working really hard and a lot of hours and 7 days a week, I mean, LW and I talk all the time because there's so many nuts and bolts that we have to screw together and to make this work and get up and running. And he's working a lot. I'm not working as much. Like I said, I backed off my work schedule so I can be full-time involved in this. But, talking to you guys, coming up with different shows and different ideas and seeing each and every one of you in here, LW and I don't take that for granted. We appreciate each and every one of you, the new people, the people that have been supporting us since day one, the people that have been around. And we know that there's plenty of you in there that do your own research, that give us stories behind the scenes, email us and stuff. And we sure do appreciate that. It is a community. LWN Network is a community. It isn't just LW or me. It is everybody involved in this community. It's encompassing everybody so we can share conversations, ideas, thoughts, and the just living life. The tense times through all the politics that we know are out there, the enjoyment of life, just having good conversations, good friendships, good relationships. And I'm just really excited about this. And I have been since we fired it back up.
Me too, Tammy. Well, let's shift gears. Let's get into some of the news. I want to start off tonight with a topic that's really it's gnawing at me. Matter of fact, we probably will cover this in the very first Wolfpack Sunday evening. But I want to talk about Elon Musk. I want to talk about Tesla, and I want to talk about the crazy shit that's going on with Tesla. And we even right here in Boise, Idaho, we have a Tesla plant. Now, I don't know if they make cars. I think it's more of a repair shop here in Boise. My dad sent me a video earlier today, and I've been told in the last 3 or 4 days there's been protests right here in Idaho over that. But here's what I want to report for you guys when it comes to Idaho. And it's not just Idaho. There's lots of great states out there that probably do the same thing. But here in Idaho, we didn't put up with any of that shit. So the video shows that there are protesters that came down from Seattle here in Boise, Idaho to protest Tesla. But I tell you what, the patriots, the Americans, the support for Tesla, for Doge, for Elon Musk is so loud and so proud in Boise, Idaho. I'm proud. I'm proud of the people here in my home state and in the city who have stood up and said, you know what? If you want to come to Boise, Idaho and protest Tesla, that's fine. Stand on the other side of the street, hold up your stupid signs, hold up your stupid rainbow flags, scream and shout all you want. But there's no way in hell you're crossing this street and you're going to vandalize or destroy any kind of private or personal property in the state of Idaho. And they're standing out there, Tammy, with their American flags, with their yellow flags, don't tread on me. I wouldn't be shocked if 90% of them are packing, their Second Amendment right, because they're just not going to put up with it. And here's what's been grinding on me. I'm watching these videos. I'm watching these people, and I'm going to just call it like it is. These people are freaking stupid. And the funny thing is, do you know any conservatives, any rebels, any red-blooded, redneck, country boy, city boy who's an American patriot, military guy? And I'm sure there's a few out there. But I don't know anyone who actually drives a Tesla or an electric car. Now, I'm not saying that there's not people in my circle that do, and that but here's the funny thing. Most of them are Democrat. Exactly. Most of them are these people that have bought into Agenda 21, Agenda 30, Agenda 2025, the Green New Deal, on and on and on. We got to get rid of combustion engines. Fossil fuels are evil. They're killing the world. And it's usually usually the left that has been out there purchasing these type of vehicles. So when I watch other channels, I watch other pages on Facebook that are, going after Elon, going after Donald Trump, going after the right. They're calling, Tesla and Tesla owners Nazis and all these horrible things. They're spray painting their cars. They're catching them on fire. And these people are idiots. The Teslas have cameras all the way around them, and
Yes.
every one of these people are getting caught. They're getting arrested. They're charged with felonies. It gnaws on me because I just don't understand. I don't understand why every time there's an issue, it seems like, and this is my own opinion, that it gets violent with the left. They start burning cities to the ground. They start tearing statues down. They attack people on the street. They attack the police. They attack police cruisers. Like, we've seen it over and over and over again, all the violence that comes from the left. And it's also programmed. It's also ran by George Soros and groups attached to George Soros, Antifa, Black Lives Matter, all that stuff. These are the people that are constantly going out there and terrorizing American people. But yet we don't see the right doing this. This is not something that is in our DNA. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't extremists out there on the right that do stupid things like that too, because I'm sure there are. But not in such a mass number of people like we do on the left. And it's gnawing at me because I'm honestly, Tammy, I'm sick and freaking tired of watching these people being attacked and watching all this stuff. And I was so proud to see that today, that my dad sent me that video of, you don't have to call yourself a patriot. We're all Americans. And to see these Americans stand on both sides of the street holding those American flags saying, not in this small town. Not in this small town. And, Jason Aldean sang that song, not in the small town, or see what happens in this small town. And I feel like, it's happening right here in Boise, Idaho. And I'm proud of you guys for standing up for that.
That's an amazing tribute to the people that are standing up like that, Michael, because the thing is that all these people that are on the left, they years ago, remember, wanted us to have electric vehicles. They were loving Elon Musk. But what happens is they throw temper tantrums and are paid by Soros and others to throw temper tantrums, including beating people up, destroying cities, catching them on fire to get their way when they don't get their way. All of a sudden, Elon is not the good guy that they pushed upon us so many years ago. And that's exactly what is going on. They're not getting their way. They don't like that Elon and Doge is investigating their payers, their handlers. And so they're being paid to act out like this. Now, I have a news story that is coming out tomorrow that Elon himself talked about that explains they know who it is. They're coming after them in all their gory details. So I'll have that tomorrow for headline hits. But I 100% agree. When you look back over all these years, LW, on the things that have been going on with the burnings, with even assassination attempts, and it goes on and on and on. All the violence is not just done by the majority of the people on the left having meltdowns. It is also said out the mouth by the left Democratic leaders in Congress, like Pelosi, like Maxine Waters, and all the rhetoric that they have. Even Adam Schiff is going after Doge and having a meltdown as well. And that ties into what I talked about earlier today on Headline Hits regarding Doge is also now going to investigate. The very next thing they're going to investigate, LW, is these congressmen, the salaries they make and how much they're worth. A good example is Nancy Pelosi's salary is $174,000. Her worth is $251 million. Mitch McConnell, he's another one that's been in there forever. So it's not just the left, it's also rhinos as well.
Correct.
It's both sides, right? So he is worth $30 million apparently, but only makes $174,000. And the last one I'll say is Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer, his salary is $193,400 and he's worth $7 million. So what happens is you start investigating them, how they made this money. And Elon has come out and said that, yes, some of them came to Congress with a certain amount of family, money, and certain amount of money they had beforehand. But he said, I'm still going to put the pieces together, because even if you come in with a certain amount of money, what they've accrued in the short time some of them have been in is incredible with some of these younger ones. So I think it is all just a network of, hey, our world is crumbling down. The taxpayers' money that we've been using to buy mansions and cars and all that we've talked about for many years on this channel is being exposed, and they don't like it. Now, this is the new thing. Go after Elon, because Elon and Doge team is exposing these people.
I make a pretty good salary when I'm working as an electrician, and I won't say what the salary is, but I can tell you my salary is very comparable to what salaries you're talking about there. And I can't figure out how to make 30, 40, 240 million off of that, Tammy. It's very odd that these people are continuing to not just get rich themselves, but this is generational wealth. And we follow a lot of stuff. There's a lot of information out there now. It's all been by design, and that's what I believe Trump and Elon and the entire Trump administration are going to do. They're bringing this whole thing down. It's going to come crashing down to the ground. Conservative Cowboy is talking about voting by proxy. Now, I can't remember if it was you that I was listening to this morning, Tammy, or if it was somebody else that was putting out this whole thing. And I can't remember if it's in Texas or where it's at. But they have people coming in and voting in the Capitol by proxy that are not even elected officials.
That was, yeah. Yep.
Was that you?
Yeah, in Texas. Yes, that was over the weekend. Yep.
Yes.
It wasn't just Friday. It happened Saturday, too.
Okay, so Tammy, can you run through that again so that people that maybe did not hear Headline Hits this morning can hear what's going on? Because Conservative Cowboy, his comment is voting by proxy is unconstitutional. If you want to make change, then make the proper changes via the Constitution. So explain what's going on when we're talking about voting by proxy, and I want you guys to pay attention to what she's saying, because this is so important. This changes a lot of things. If you want to know why we're going certain directions, listen to the why. Go ahead, Tammy.
Yeah, so when there's a certain amount of go ahead. There's a certain amount of people that are supposed to show up, representatives, right? And if they don't show up, you're not supposed to have the vote. You're supposed to wait. Now, what happened over the weekend in Texas was on Friday and Saturday. So on Friday, not enough people showed up to vote. But what happened was they called people in, constituents, different people, to fill the seats, to make it look full, and to actually vote, even though they weren't supposed to vote on whatever. Then they continued the same process on Saturday, and there was a representative named Harrison who called them out regarding doing this, that he said, this is not lawful, this is lawlessness, this is crazy. And they did it again on Saturday as well, because the vote that they did on Saturday only took 8.8 seconds. And the lead Democrat guy who was running it, I can't remember his name right now, was laughing because it only took 8.8 seconds. And he was laughing because they've had all these weekends off. Well, a memo did go out to these people that they were to vote. They were to show up, and they needed to vote, and they just were too lazy to show up. And the problem is they've been getting away with it for so long, and nobody's really paid attention, or maybe somebody will pop up and say something, but then it gets buried in the news headlines. We know we've had major headlines each and every day in the news, so it gets buried, and it's just been a continual process. And then when you add in judges and you add in everything else that they are all covering for each other, that's why they've been getting away with it. Well, when you have individuals that are standing up, like this Harrison man from Texas, then this is how it gets to the papers, the people like us, and then we report on it. So that is what's going on. Even if the legal number of representatives don't show up for a vote, they still act as if there's bodies there, put in a vote, and pass whatever they need to pass.
But who are these people, Tammy?
They're the Democrats in Congress.
So hold on a second. So we vote for state representatives. Yes. Usually it's close to 50-50. It's not always, sometimes you have the right that holds the majority in the House, and I'm talking about statehood here, or the Democrat Party, right? So I want you to explain to the people, if they go up for a vote and your representative that you voted for in your district, which is usually a couple of counties, does not show up for that vote, but yet that vote was still casted by that jurisdiction, who is casting that vote?
That's the big question. It's people who are tied with other people. That's it. It's nameless people, just bodies that show up. And that is why we've said for a very long time here, many years, you have to pay attention to who's in the seat, what their voting records are, what they say and what they do, what their actions are. And that's simply it. And sometimes it's just invisible people. They just do a roll call. Now, mind you, Harrison called for a roll call before the vote. And he blew off the roll call. You're not supposed to blow off roll calls. Roll calls are to let people know, do we have enough people here? Do we have enough representatives? Can we do a vote?
Okay, here's two scenarios. I want you guys to listen here. Here's two scenarios to the problem that Tammy's talking about. Scenario one is you got a Republican representative out of Texas, doesn't show up but sends the secretary. The secretary fills in for a proxy vote, votes for what the representative possibly wanted to vote for. That's scenario one. But what if scenario two is nobody from that office showed up and the Democrats know, or other people realize or already know ahead of time that that they haven't showed up, and they've got an opportunity to slide somebody in there to vote completely different than what that representative would have voted for. Let's say they're conservative and they want to vote for smaller government. Well, they don't show up, and scenario two, they get somebody in there that votes the opposite of what they wanted, which is larger government or raises for themselves or maybe more benefits for illegal aliens. Who knows what they're voting on, right? But my point is, we have to hold these people accountable. This is not acceptable for them, one, not to show up, and two, for proxy vote. I think we should throw, and I think that's what Conservative Cowboy was getting to. We need to get rid of proxy vote. They should have to sign. They should have to show up in person, do a roll call, and vote. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, I agree 100% because there's loopholes. There's loopholes that they use. There's corruption and partnership with others that they use to keep control, keep things the way they want them. And that isn't conspiracy, and it isn't just happening in one little place. It is happening all over. That is why the local is where it starts, you guys. The local and paying attention really matters. Who's in that seat matters. Even here in Georgia, you guys know that Georgia is not an easy state. It's a troubled state. And the stuff that I have seen locally is blowing my mind. And I'm like, well, this makes sense. If this is how it is in a lot of swing states or in different states, I get why everything's such a mess, because it's who's paying who to do what. And it is so disgustingly disturbing. And I've been reporting on the news about Stacey Abrams and her guy and all the different things that have come to the surface with Georgia politicians, and none of it's been good. None of them that said anything or went after against Donald J. Trump came to fruition. We're honest on the up and up. The voting is under scrutiny still. It goes on, and it's just it's amazing and mind blowing to me. Even on a local civic matter, little civic votes where the judge knows the son of the guy that's the builder in the area. So he's going to pass permits and say, yep, you're allowed to build this commercial area in a non-commercial zone. And then people are fighting it. Well, the people end up losing because they're all tied in, and it's money, and it's just favors. So it's just, if you get involved, even if you don't say anything, you guys, your minds will be blown, because it's one thing to hear about it. It's another thing to experience it. And as far as Tennessee Girl says, she says issue 1 in Wisconsin passes must have photo ID to vote. That's amazing. We can't pass that up, LW. Hallelujah on that issue, because that's still issues going around across the country as well.
And Tammy, you're not just talking out your ass. You're actually getting involved at your local level. You're actually a precinct captain. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm a precinct. Yes, I worked in my precinct, and I attended precinct caucuses as well. I watched the voting when it went down, the last vote. I've been to a lot of things. And listen, I'm not bragging. I didn't know a thing, you guys. What I'm saying is if I can do it, you can do it. It doesn't take a lot of time to attend meetings, to meet these different people or representatives from your state. If you're in the Republican Party, your Republican Party has an event center that they all meet at. I was involved in the Trump Force 47. I was a Trump Force 47 captain as well. And it did, when the voting was going on, door-to-door knocking, all that, my life was really occupied with that. So I was glad LWN Network wasn't up and running then. But I have learned so much. There's so much more to learn. But if I can do it, you can do it. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of good people out there fighting the good fight, that are educating themselves, that are actually grandparents and great grandparents that have been doing this for years, that, they have a fire in their belly for their grandkids and so on. We've talked about this many times. They do not want this country to fail. They want their grandkids a safe place to be left behind when they leave. And they want this country back the way they knew it to be when they were young.
Absolutely. And I think that there's opportunity for us to get back to that place as well, Tammy. It's going to take some hard work, but it can definitely get done. Let's shift gears again.
Okay.
We're running time here. So what is in the news this week that you want to, before we talk about the opportunity, I'm going to throw this out there, but let's save it toward the end. The opportunity of Trump possibly running for a third term. Whether you hate him, you love him, you think that's possible, you don't think it's possible, we're going to talk about it tonight anyway. But what is in the news so far this week, it's only Tuesday, that is something that you feel is very important that we need to discuss about either Trump or the Trump administration? What's going on right now?
Well, I do know that Trump came out and said that he is pissed off, and he used those terms with Zelensky, or Putin, because Putin started going off about Zelensky and they need a new leader and on and on. We know Trump has met with these men and he has talked with these men trying to make a ceasefire deal and a peace deal and get that worked out. But both of them keep offloading, they'll meet with him and everything's cool for a moment and then all heck breaks loose out again. So he's been dealing with that. I have concerns about that. And I think that is a big deal because that is still very bubbly. That is not calm. Things are still going on with all of that. Nothing has been settled or decided about that. And Trump is about had it with actually both of them because they keep shifting. Also, the good news is Israel ended all its tariffs today on U.S. goods coming in the day before its Liberation Day, because we want to talk about that as well before Trump runs the third term, if he does. But so what I'm saying is there's a lot paying attention to Ukraine, Russia, Israel, Hamas, all that stuff is still going on. But the good news is Israel did end all its tariffs on the U.S. goods today. And I think that is a great thing. I'm looking forward to Liberation Day tomorrow. I don't know exactly what all the details are, but it's going to kick off tomorrow, 4 p.m. in the garden, the Rose Garden, and it is going to be about the tariffs. And
yeah, we're going to try to have that live for you guys on our 24-hour stream on Rumble. So if you guys want to hear that tomorrow from Trump, I got to talk to the producer tonight after the show, but we really want to try to stream that live for you guys on Rumble on our 24-hour stream for you guys. Great information, Tammy. Here's something I want to touch on before we get to the third term of Trump, because this is going to roll right into your April the 7th Liberation Day. I want to say that there are people out there that I know, people that watch this show. Some of them stay quiet in the shadows. Some of them do reach out to me. We have a conversation. It could even affect me in a negative way. But what I want to say is I'm willing to give Donald Trump and the administration the benefit of the doubt and the opportunity to make change in America with tariffs. I know people are freaking out about tariffs. Mm-hmm. I know personally a person that it has really devastated them in their business. And I have sympathy for them. And that goes out to them. And if you're listening tonight or you listen to this later, you know who I'm talking about. and it's horrible. It really is. But here is what I believe is hope. It's not hopium, it's hope. You just said that Israel already said, the day before, no more tariffs. So is Trump using this as a tool to force other countries to treat America fair in the world trade? Me personally, my own personal belief, yes, I believe it's a tool and a mechanism for him to get that done. And it's still going to have hiccups. It's imperfect. It's going to hurt people. I know this. I got hurt during COVID. I got hurt a couple of years ago, and I ended up having to go out and put my tool bag on and go back to work. I had to change a career. I've had to do things to put food on my table. So are other people that are being affected in maybe a negative way when these tariffs have to do stuff like that? It's possible. Are they going to have to do it forever and completely change careers? I doubt it, because I believe that the tariffs will eventually come full circle, and they will, I believe that they will benefit all of America and all Americans, every aspect of trade and our business. I mean, we've got semiconductors coming in from Taiwan. They've what did they say, Tammy? They're going to do 100 billion. They're going to do 100 billion. There was another company that's going to do 100 billion. Japan's going to come in and do $1 trillion. So there's a lot of manufacturing coming back to America, and I'm going to give Trump credit for that. He's the one that campaigned on it. He's the one that said he was going to do it. He's the one that made the promises. And at this point, it seems like promises made, promises kept. And again, I'm not a fool where I don't think that there's going to be casualties. I've said that before. There's going to be casualties along the way. People are going to lose things. People are going to be forced to maybe change direction in their lives. Other people have different opinions of that, and they are affected directly. And I'm talking about Sage. He's in chat right now, and they're affected directly, and it's causing a lot of problems. And so I have compassion for that, and it sucks, and I wish it wasn't happening that way, but I don't know how all this works. I've done a lot of research on it, and it's really a volatile time on which direction is this going to do. Is it going to slide and be really good, or is it going to have some bad parts of it? I don't know. But again, we've been doing this shit for a long time this way, and it seems like a lot of it affected us negatively. So I'm willing to take a chance on a different direction and see what happens. I feel like if it is worse than what it was, we can always go back to the old way, right?
Well, I think that the problem is we started doing business the wrong way because the wrong people were making money the wrong way to benefit them instead of America. They put us back, just like Trump said. He wants even and fair trade. Okay, so we started doing business lopsided, just like involved in all these NATO and all this stuff. So what happened was people started making careers doing business in the shipping and air. I have a friend, actually, my son's friend, I should say, who does land shipping here. He's in the business here in Atlanta, and he was talking about how things are changing, and he's been educating me on some things. And the thing is that if you do business the wrong way, and you all of a sudden you get somebody in that wants to do it the right way, all hell is going to break loose because we've been doing it the wrong way where it's lopsided. So of course people that are in it are going to be upset because they're losing livelihoods and stuff. And I understand that. But when we get the ship of USA tipped back the right side up, it's going to benefit anybody. Any kind of change from wrong to right is going to be difficult. It's going to be challenging. But like Donald Trump says, if you're paying attention to what he's doing, he said, even in fair trade, even in fair trade. Why is that such a big harassment to everybody. We have been taking it in the back end for so very long that, yeah, it's going to hurt to get it uprighted, but I'm all for that. And, that comes with the car industry even. Everything, we started shipping everything overseas, everywhere else except for the United States of America. And that's where we screwed ourselves, because then we're dependent upon everybody for everything instead of doing it here at home, which is what I love that Trump's administration is doing. He's bringing the car industry back. My dad worked in the car industry and we had a good life, him working in the car industry. I grew up in Detroit, Motor City. Everybody was into cars then. And, it was the Motor City. And when you start seeing everything shipped overseas, for one, it's made cheaper. Yeah, I see that. But at what price? We lost jobs. Jobs are going to come back. And we might as well be on the forefront of everything, whether it's AI or, like you said, those reductors or whatever, and on, and be on the forefront of it, and instead of taking it in the behind over and over again. And that's just how I feel about it.
I know that's how you feel, and I see Sage's comments, and I have listened to both sides. Like I'm not going to just focus on the Trump side and think that everything sounds so great. I listen to the left side too. I've heard their explanation on how this is killing America. So I've heard that side. I've heard professionals talk about how great these tariffs can be for America. So somewhere in the middle, there's got to be some even ground there. It can't all be one side on the left or one side on the right. And there is a point that it is cheaper to make products in other countries, and I get that. I understand. I think Sage's analogy was a controller for a video game, and if you can make it cheaper in another country and then send it to America, and a company here buys it and then sells it for a profit, I get that. It's capitalism. Yeah. Okay, I understand that fully. Not a retarded, but I can tell you this: there's no way that every person on the left that's an expert saying that this is the most horrible thing happening to America is right, because that's bullshit. It's not true. They're not all right, nor is the right all right. So there's somewhere in the middle where part of what the right's saying is correct and part of what the left is saying is correct. And like I said, there's a whole lot of us in the middle that are getting caught in all of it. So right or wrong, good or bad, love it, hate it, whatever. This is what we voted for. Some of you in chat didn't vote for this, but we didn't vote for the last 4 years either. We got shafted pretty hard. So it just is. And I'm willing to at least give it an opportunity to work itself through. We had to allow the last 4 years to do some stupid ass shit that I hated too. And that affected me in a negative way, and I had to just let it be. So Sage said he'd come on the show and explain it to us, and I appreciate the offer, and we can talk about it. But like I said, I've listened to both sides, and I'm not going to get caught in an echo chamber on the right, nor do I want to get caught in an echo chamber on the left either, because I'm telling you, I've listened to a lot of the left and how they explain this shit, and they're not correct. They're not all correct. It's going to be a hard deal for a lot of us to live through. Like I said, this is going to possibly affect me in a very negative way. They've already shut a couple of jobs down here in my area because parts of the Green New Deal have been canceled. And that affects my pocketbook. So I'm not the only one feeling the strain of some of this stuff, but I'm hoping that it's going to work itself out. Tammy, we're rolling up here on 50 minutes, and I want to give you time. And I'm sure there's lots of people in chat that want to talk about this, make comment about it. And you can make comment whether you agree with it, you don't agree with it.
Right.
You think it's the most horrible thing in the world. You think he's a dictator. I mean, so chat moderators, we welcome other opinions as long as people aren't being rude and attacking me, Tammy, or you guys, or anybody in chat. As long as you guys are respectful, you can put any comment in chat you want, and I'm okay with that because I want to hear other people's perspectives as well. Do I believe what you're going to talk about is really going to happen? I'm still in the camp of I got to see it before I believe a lot of it. But let's, yeah, you're right, Jeff B. That's what we're going to talk about. Let's talk about the possibility. And you can put any comment in chat if you want. If you can put in comment in chat that it's unconstitutional, never work. I don't care. You can put that you're in favor of it. But let's talk about the fact that Trump has made mention, and it's been on a lot of social platforms in the last little bit here about Trump actually running for a third term. And I'm going to let you go ahead and take the mic.
Well, there's a lot to this. It isn't just Trump. I mean, Eisenhower said electors ought to be able to choose a president for anybody that it wants, regardless of the number of terms that was served. And it said he even raised the possibility of running as VP in 1960, then reassuming office for a third term himself. So I want to clarify at the beginning of this isn't just Donald J. Trump doing this. This has been in the books. This has been in the past.
Obama even said he'd love to have a third term.
There you go. It involves the 22nd Amendment, and it's very detailed. But I'm going to start out very simply by stating, imagine this scenario, because Donald Trump himself said the other day, and I reported this as well, that there are a few paths, many paths that I could take to do that, okay? Some are very simple. And he said, but right now I'm focused on what is going on now. So, but this is what came out. So if J.D. Vance comes out and he says, I, J.D. Vance, do solemnly swear, taking the presidency, he wins the election. And then moments later after taking that, he says, I resign. But his running mate is Donald J. Trump as VP. He can move him in to be the president for a third term. So can Donald J. Trump run as a president a third time? No. Can he be run as a VP and then be moved forward to a president? That's absolutely possible. And basically it involves the 22nd Amendment, and it says the path for Trump to serve a third term and potentially even a fourth. Oh, don't even get into the fourth. That's January.
Don't get started on the fourth.
That's 2037.
You're gonna give people in chat have a stroke tonight, even thinking about a fourth term. They hate him so bad in a second term that they might just have a frickin' find him in on the kitchen floor having a stroke. So let's not even go to four.
But
let's just start with three. In history, and one of the comments was Obama already did it with Biden as a puppet, and technically I understand what you're talking about there, and yes, I believe he had a big hand in it possibly. But we're talking about, instead of just being in a basement in his pajamas running the country through Biden, we're talking about actually being on the world stage running the country as a president and not just a puppet master.
Right.
You know, RDF. Oh, geez. Am I getting my initials wrong? Franklin.
Franklin Roosevelt.
Yeah, during World War II, ended up having 4 terms. So
yes.
it's not the first time in history that this has ever been done. I believe, Tammy, if you look in your notes, sometime after World War II, I think it was in the 50s, is when they went in and did some ratification to the 22nd Amendment, if I'm not mistaken. And so, Roosevelt did it during war times, and I don't necessarily disagree with that method. I mean, you definitely don't want to change up people in the middle of a major catastrophe. FDR, thank you. I had the letters, had them scrambled. Thank you, Sean. But yeah, it's I would say that I wouldn't want to change now. If Biden was in office and something like that happened, I'd want him ushered out as quickly as possible and change that person. But yeah, it's definitely something that is going around. I know we talked about some of this stuff even 4 years ago, Tammy, and we talked about all the conspiracies where Trump was going to come back in 2020, 2021, and then he was going to be able to run again. And so this is stuff that's been going around for years. This is not the first time we've heard about it. And again, I am in the camp where I just don't know if that would be something that could be legitimate until I actually saw some traction to it and somebody actually doing it. Trump 2048. Here's something here's something that I found odd though. I have seen people posting clips of The Simpsons and it's strange that The Simpsons have predicted a lot of things. It's really strange. And The Simpsons have predicted in one of their episodes where Trump, it said Trump 2020, Trump 2024, and Trump 2028, which very odd. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I believe in that. I'm just saying very odd.
It is very odd. And it's actually very simple because it's a matter of a key phrase. In this article, it talks about the key phrase in the amendment is no person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice. It is argued that means a twice elected president would not be barred from later reassuming the office due to the resignation or death of another president. Therefore, what's funny?
I'm just reading Sage's comments. Trump 2176.
Well, it is so funny because if Trump ran in 2037,
I
he'd be
know.
90.
Yeah, I know Sage is not a huge fan of Trump, and that's okay.
Well, okay, but listen, it's not about the person, it's about the policies.
Correct.
How do you defend the last administration and their policies? And I'm not attacking anyone. I'm saying all the illegals that were let in, you look at all the gang members and all that. Now there's judges saying, hey, guess what? You got to bring them back. You shouldn't have shipped them out. I have that story for tomorrow, and my blood is boiling. Robot Trump. And you know what? That's not far from fact.
He could take his brain out of his body and put it in one of those those Tesla robots, and we could have Trump 2264. You just never know.
So the reality is, do I think it will happen? No. Do I think that Trump likes to troll people and put it
absolutely.
Out there? Yes.
That's the camp that I'm in. Is I believe that Trump said that just to troll people, just to get under their skin, just to get people riled up, just to get people talking. Whether you love Trump or you hate Trump and can't stand him, I would have to agree that Trump is a master of really a shit stirrer. I mean, honestly, that guy, he knows how to stir the shit and get people frickin' going.
And I want to say this about tariffs and about tomorrow being Liberation Day. Yeah. Every single thing that Trump talks about isn't just blown away in the wind. Something comes of it. So if he's saying tomorrow's Liberation Day and he's putting in tariffs to be fair to us, I'm going to bet on him because the last administration didn't do squat for us. They squandered. Look at all the money Doge has found. The billions and trillions of dollars of laundered money, of corruption. And look at who is fighting this. Look at who is getting upset that it's being exposed. How in God's green earth can you be mad because we are finally seeing what the government has been doing with our taxpayer dollars for a very long time? Why wouldn't you, as a sane person, just want it to be out there so we can build trust in our government again, see what has been such a hot mess, and bring dollars back to our pockets? Why wouldn't you want no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime? You have to be crazy to be fighting that. But there are politicians, judges, and everybody else fighting that, or saying Trump's a dictator. Dude, look at what the Biden administration put us in, where, all these wars that are firing off, all this corruption, all this stuff going on. We had peace with Trump the first 4 years. We had good lives then. He's already proven himself. And I think this time around, the man doesn't have anything to lose. He knows what he's doing. He's got experience. He had a lot of rats in his surroundings, and there's still rats and moles, I believe, in a lot of the government. A lot of them are still there. So I just give them kudos. And if anything's pro USA, pro family, pro us making more money, what the hell is wrong with that? And I don't understand the hate against him. And I'm sorry I went off for a moment. It happens.
That's okay, Tammy. You have your own thoughts, and I like that about you. So
okay,
this is the only thing I'll say about some of the comments in chat, and I guess people who would be against this administration's policies is there are ripple effects for every decision made, whether it's left or right, whether you agree with it or you don't agree with it. It does not matter. The last 4 years had ripple effects for us. This 4 years with Donald Trump will have ripple effects with people, whether it's me, you, Sage, or whoever is listening tonight, good, bad, or indifferent. Every policy and every decision that we elect these people to go to D.C. or to our capital to make for us will have an effect on us. There will be consequences for every decision. So what I'm going to say about that is that's why it's so important for you to pay attention to who you're actually voting for and why, and sending them to our capital or sending them to D.C. It's important for you to really pay attention to that, because if you don't agree with the policies that are going on right now and the people that have been elected to enforce these policies, and I'm not saying that anyone in chat doesn't pay attention and is not voting the way they want to vote. I'm just saying it's very important for you to pay attention. And if you haven't, then that's on you. That's your fault for not paying attention and not getting out there and voting, because that's the only way you're going to be able to make change. And I feel like we really got out there and showed up in November of 2024 and helped make that change. And that's, it was a major election, and he has mandate. We not only secured the White House, but we got the House and we got the Senate as well. And it's a mandate. And, you can listen to the left and their polls, and you can listen to the right and their polls. And if you listen to the right, they're claiming that 77% of the people that have voted for this president and this administration, they're happy with the job that they're doing. Now, of course, if you go to the left, those numbers are not anywhere close because those people didn't vote for him, so they're not happy. So I've seen a lot of people who have left the Democrat Party because of all the crazy shit going on that they are supporting, and I have seen people that have left the Republican Party because they don't like what's going on either. So it's 6 one way, half a dozen the other, right?
And I will say the Democratic Party is in huge, huge trouble. They're in massive trouble. They're disorganized. Once again, what are they doing? They're going after Trump, trying to blockade him and stuff. But once again, they don't have a leader in the forefront to run for the next election for president down the road. There's no organization. Once again, there's no policies, no plans. It's all about Trump is a bad man. Trump shouldn't be letting Doge dig into this. Never mind all the people they had. I'm so sick of their belly aching and whining. Pull yourselves together, have a policies plan, and have an agenda that you can present to the American people to make them to even want to pay attention or vote for you, instead of Maxine Waters out there calling, we gotta stop this, we gotta stop this, we gotta protest these people. I mean, it's absolutely insane. These people have lost their minds. Pelosi's like lit all the time, barely being able to walk, let alone have a coherent sentence anymore. And I'm over it. It's like, stop putting Trump there as the bad man, bad orange man. You people need to get your party together and develop some policies and stuff. I mean, and on a good note, a positive note, before we check out here, who else can have Kid Rock in a freaking red, white, and blue badass outfit standing next to Trump in the Oval Office signing an EO order to get rid of scalpers because all of us can't afford to attend a damn concert anymore. 15, 20 years, Kid Rock has been trying to get scalpers out of the mix and the uprinks with the robots and bots get buying up all tickets, and we have to pay $700 to get to a ticket to see a concert. And he's standing there in that badass outfit in the Oval Office having a good time. And then to cap that visit off, Kid Rock was sitting down at the grand piano that the Steinway family gave FDR, and he was sitting in there and playing that thing. You guys go check out that video and see. That's pretty damn cool. Instead of always looking at Biden on the beach half asleep or eating ice cream. Come on, people, get a personality, right? Oh God, I'm in trouble now. I'm serious. That's pretty cool.
Well, I was gonna roll into final thought, but I'm pretty sure you just gave us your final thought. So that's Tammy. That's Tammy's final thought for tonight. There you go. I'm gonna give my final thought, and I'm gonna say this. I do agree with what Tammy's talking about as far as the Democrat Party. Get your shit together. Quit crying. Quit whining. And start really thinking about who you want to represent your party in the next presidential election, and start working on policy, because your whole game plan of Orange Man bad and this is the party of the extremists and the racists and the Nazis and all that shit. Guess what? The rest of the people are not listening to that message anymore. It's an old message that's been proven to be absolutely incorrect. He's not a dictator. He's been voted in to do this thing. And I would just say to the Democrat Party, it's time for you to let it go and start working on the next 4 years on how you're going to actually attract the American people to pay attention to what you have to say through policy. And policies that are actually good for America and not bad for America. I was watching a video today. I can't even make this shit up, Tammy. I think I sent it to you. It's the one where grown-ass adults are walking around with dog masks, cat masks, rabbit masks on, and I saw one later today where they went into a gymnasium of a school, and you had a grown-ass man dressed as, what is it called, SMS, DMS, I don't know, that weird chains, whips, and all that shit. And then they had a younger man, full-grown man, dressed as a dog, made him roll over, made him sit down. This is the craziest shit that I've ever seen in my entire life. And you actually think that the Democrat Party, that's your message to Americans, that you want to attract a moderate and have them jump in your camp as a Democrat and say, I think that I want to support the Democrat Party and have this as part of our philosophy and our agenda and all. I just at times I look at it and I'm speechless. I just cannot believe what the hell that I'm seeing here. And this is I'm sorry, but this is the Democrat Party. They have all the damn rainbow flags, and they're walking around. Men are wearing bras. Men are wearing dresses. This is the weirdest shit. And you honestly think that you're going to get a Midwest Democrat person who is a moderate, who wants a good life, to actually jump on board with the Democrat Party and say, yes, this is a party that I support? Or are you going to keep doing it. Please do. Continue to burn Teslas. Continue to attack the people driving Teslas. Continue to walk around like dogs and cats and shit and bark and shit in a fucking kitty litter box in public.
It's terrible.
And think that the moderate Democrat is going to want to be part of that party. You're pushing them. You're pushing them to MAGA. Keep doing it, because they may not like MAGA either, but at least we're not running around with butt plugs in, with tails sticking out of my pants, thinking that I'm a fucking cat. So, meow. Jesus.
The rails tonight, but it's true. The rage in the cage is real. because these people want to poke the bear, which is we, the conservatives, right? Who've been, prim and proper and trying to give chances and listening to the arguments. However, the arguments did become that you mask wearing, barking, male dressed or nakedness and bringing our kids into it. We've had enough. Like, if you are on that side and promoting all that, something is wrong with you. You need mental help, and we need to get our mental facilities back in order to be able to house these people and help them, because that ain't right. Showing kids that crap is not right. The debauchery that is going on that our kids are exposed to, it sickens me, and I've had enough of it. I'm not worried about he, we, they, them, thy, they, and with all the different colored hair and the piercings.
Now I'm in trouble. My aunt's gonna wash my mouth out with soap.
Ma'am, I know that
that's my aunt. She's gonna wash my mouth out with soap. Well, I'll just close with this. I am looking forward to conversations with Democrats that are moderate. I would love to exchange ideas with people in reality that do want good change and good things for their family and for their work and for stuff like that. I open the invitation for anybody who's a moderate Democrat out there that wants to have those type of conversations. I definitely don't want to have a conversation with a man dressed in a dress and wearing lipstick. That's not what I'm looking for. If that's what you want to do in the privacy of your own home, you go for it. But I am definitely, and I don't know if they can even call themselves Democrats anymore. Maybe they call themselves independents or whatever. And so maybe we start looking at independents that are moderate, and that's fine. Because Kathy H. says Democrats don't have reality. Some of them may not even exist anymore. Just, So anyway, that's my final thought for tonight. We got to run. I smell dinner, and I'm almost out of water, so I need more.
But it was really fun tonight. It was nice to catch up with everybody. It's nice to break out of the norm and just share conversation.
And real quick, before you start leaving, real quick, we have a new outro song tonight. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. As we exit tonight, the producer will play the new song that was written for us for the outro. Love it. It's basically my life in a song, and so I absolutely love this song. It's very catchy. So before you guys leave, just stick around for another 3 minutes. I think it's 3 minutes and 3 seconds long. I think you can hang in there that long, and you can hear the new outro. You're welcome to steal it, share it, spread it all around, whatever you guys want to do. If you like the song and you like the video, this is from Sevens Studio Productions, which is Sins. Seven Sins.
Send 7.
Sin 7, which is our brother War Machine who did this for us. And with that being said, probably won't see you until Sunday evening. For me personally, we're going to do the first Wolfpack on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to catch Tammy tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Headline Hits. With that being said, love you all. God bless. And we'll catch you on the next one. So stay tuned for this outro.
I struggle with the pain when it pours. No one knows how I feel when I have to start again, and there's no one there to save me. Do you know how it feels when your world is gonna end, when I don't have a friend to stand with me? I'm gonna make a comeback. I'm gonna claw my way back to the top. I'm gonna get it all back. My comeback is my feelings back. Yeah, I'm gonna make a comeback and rise up this time. And look into my soul and see a graveyard, a crossroads filled with despair and defeat. Look into my eyes and see the haters call my name. Look into my soul and see redemption on its way. The demand is high to risk it all and put it all on the line. I'm shot and never stop. I'm gonna swallow my pride and put it all on the line and rise up this time. I'm gonna make a comeback. I'm gonna claw my way back to the top. I'm gonna get it all back. My comeback is right there inside. Yeah, I'm gonna make a comeback. I'm gonna claw my way back to the top. I'm gonna get it all back. My comeback is right there inside. Yeah. I'm gonna make a comeback. I'm gonna claw my way back to the top. I'm gonna get it all back. My comeback is right there inside. Yeah, I'm gonna come